Prabhupada Paramahansakarya Ashtotara Shata Srimad Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 4, chapter 13 and the text number 25. The chapter name is The Descendants of Dhruv Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The text number 25. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajarshir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajarshir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajarshir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Prabhuji. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajashir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Ango Ashvamedam Rajashrir Ajahara Mahakratum Ajagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajashrir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajashrir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmur Devatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadibihi. Maitreya Uvacha Angoshvamedam Rajarshir Ajahara Mahakratum Na Jagmurdevatastasmin Ahuta Brahmavadivihi. Word to word meaning. Maitreya Uvacha. Maitreya answered. Anga. King. Anga. Ashwamedam. Ashwamedha sacrifice. Raja Rishi. The saintly king. Ajahara. Executed. Mahakratum. Great sacrifice. Na. Not. Ajagmu. Came. Devata. The demigods. Tasmin. In that sacrifice. Ahuta. Being invited. Brahma Vadibihi. By the Brahmanas expert in executing sacrifices. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat me. Sri Maitreya replied, My dear Vidura, once the great king Anga arranged to perform the great sacrifice known as Ashwamedha, all the expert Brahmanas present knew how to invite the demigods. But in spite of their efforts, no demigods participated or appeared in that sacrifice. Purport. A Vedic sacrifice is not an ordinary performance. The demigods used to participate in such sacrifices, and the animals sacrificed in such performance were reincarnated with new life. In this age of Kali, there are no powerful Brahmanas who can invite the demigods or give renewed life to animals. Formerly, the Brahmanas, well conversant in Vedic mantras, could show the potency of mantras. But in this age, because there are no such Brahmanas, all such sacrifices are forbidden. The sacrifice in which horses were offered was called Ashwamedha. Sometimes cows were sacrificed, Gavalamba, not for eating purposes, but to give them new life in order to show the potency of the mantra. In this age, therefore, the only practical yajna is Sankirtan Yagna, or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 24 hours a day. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing the chapter 13, the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. In the past few verses we have seen the Maitreya was explaining the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. And in a few verses back, Vidura was asking Maitreya Muni, when he was explaining the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj, how come the King Vena appeared in the family of Anga, whereas King Anga was a very great devotee, like in this today's verse also it's mentioned, he's a Rajarshi, saintly king. So how come the crooked person like Vena took birth in the family of Anga? So in this verse, the Maitreya started explaining the reason, and in today's verse, we got to know that we are reading that Anga was trying to perform Ashwamedha Yagna, and he invited all the expert Brahmanas were there, and he was when mantras were chanted, he was expecting all the demigods to be present there to accept the offerings. But without after putting so much effort in performing the yajna and with the Vedic Brahmanas reciting the mantras, then there was no demigods present. So that is what in today's verse it was explaining. So he was performing yajna, Ashwamedha Yagna. So generally when we do this yajnas, particularly Ashwamedha Yagna and such sacrifices, at the end of the fire, at the yajna, the horse will be sacrificed. And in the yajna, the reason why the horse is sacrificed, not to eat meat or flesh, but when the horse is sacrificed in the Ashwamedha Yagna, horse will get a new life as a human being. Like when the horse is offered, like animal is offered in the fire sacrifice, the soul inside the animal, the horse, in this case Ashwamedha Yagna horse, it will get a human form. If there is no, if the horse is not sacrificed, means that is again, we have to see the potency of Brahmanas, mantras. It's everything is there. So considering everything is pure and proper, when the horse Ashwamedha is successful, the horse will get a human form of life. In the normal course, if the horse is not sacrificed, what will happen? We have 8.6 million species in this material world. So starting from the aquatics, it will evolve. It has complete each birth, it has to take in the different species, it has to complete its duration and then take next birth. But when this Ashwamedha horse is offered, that horse will get directly human life. So as we know, human life is the only way where we can come out of this repeated birth and death, and we can go back to Godhead, and we can get the love of Godhead, right? But so this is the advantage of being the sacrifice, performing the yajna, Ashwamedha Yagna. It used to perform in olden days, not in the current age, but in olden days that was the main reason. Once the horse is sacrificed, it will get a new birth. If the yajna is not successful for any reason, what would happen? Right? If an yajna is not successful, then the soul in the horse will get again horse body, the same body. Suppose if the horse is supposed to live for 20 years, let's say randomly, and after 10 years of life, it was sacrificed in Ashwamedha Yagna, and the yajna was not successful. What will happen? Again, horse will get the same body, and it will continue for remaining 10 years, whatever is the remaining duration. But the priest, the Brahmanas, and the Yajmani, the king, whoever is performing the yajna, they will get sinful reaction. The reason? They try to kill the horse, and the yajna was not properly done, not unsuccessful, whatever may be the reason. So the horse will come back to their original body. There is no loss to horse, but these people will get sinful reaction. So that is the potency, the very proper potency is required when we are performing the yajna. The Brahmana should be very pure in the consciousness, his activity, his speech, everything he should be pure. And the Yajamani, the king, in this case performing King Anga is performed. Yajamani of yajna also, he should be pure in his consciousness, mind, body, words, everything he should be. And the process they have to follow properly as prescribed in the Vedas. And all the ingredients used for yajna, it should be very pure. So these are the various conditions it is required to perform this yajna, like in yajna. So finally, yajna has to be successful. So how do we know the yajna is successful? Based on this example, analogy, like this example where if the yajna is successful, the animal sacrificed in that yajna will get a human form. If not, the brahmanas and other persons will be getting the sinful reaction. It's example like if a person is studying in the university or any college, every end of the term, you will see he has to go take some assessments to showcase his performance. Similarly, yajna's outcome will be decided based on the sacrifice, which is animal sacrifice. In this, if in case of Ashwamedha, it is horse, and based on the horse condition, whether it is a human form or again coming back to original form, that's how it is decided. So this is very important thing. So that's the reason in Prabhupada, in the purport, it was mentioned that in the current age, we are not able to perform any of yajnas because there is no purity in this current age of Kali Yuga. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Adilila, this verse was mentioned. Actually, this verse is from a Brahma Vaivarta Purana, but this verse is Ashwamedam Gavalambam Sanyasam Palapaitrukam Devara Sutotpena Palau Kalau Pancha Vivarjate. Right? The 5 things forbidden in this Kali Yuga. What are the 5 things? Ashwamedam. The horse sacrifice we are discussing in this verse. Ashwamedha is prohibited forbidden in the current age of Kali. And next one, Gavalambam. Right? Cow sacrifice. In the purport also, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning. In some yajnas, cows will be sacrificed. And sannyasa, even in this case of Kali, sannyasa is not forbidden. Again, we'll discuss. Then we see many sannyas in our movement. What is the purpose? We'll discuss. And then they were palapaitrikam and offering flesh to pitrus, forefathers. That is also forbidden. And devarena sutotpatim. Like, so if you are trying to beget the children through your brother's wife, that is forbidden. So these are all in olden days that used to happen, but in the Kali Yuga, these are all forbidden. And so Kalau Pancha, these 5 things, Ashwamedha Yajna, Gavalamba, and the cow sacrifice, and then offering meat to forefathers, and then begetting the children through brother's wife, and then sannyasa. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started sannyasa, he took the sannyasa diksha. For what purpose? For preaching purpose. In Kali Yuga, we are taking in our movement we could see many sannyasis there. That is for the preaching purpose. It is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed, but not for any other purpose. Just you wanted to control your senses, you want to do all other austerities. For that, if you are taking sannyasa, that is not not allowed in the Kali Yuga. But whereas if you are preaching purpose, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to follow the sannyasa. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, like before Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he is not a sannyasi, right? He's a renounced person, like he was a great devotee, but he is not a sannyasi. But at the time of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati time, what happened? There are many other sampradayas or any other movements coming, and they are giving the different philosophy at that time. And then if you want to propagate this bhakti as an important thing, then he thought, okay, taking the sannyasa will get more opportunity, give the opportunity to present this bhakti philosophy properly to wider audience. So then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati started this sannyasa. After that, we are Srila Prabhupada and our tradition is continuing. So even though the verse is saying sannyasa is forbidden in the Kali Yuga, but for teaching purpose, we are following this sampradaya, this thing. Now, so on the name of this Vedas, this Vedic injunctions clearly mentioning that you can offer this animal sacrifice as part of yajna, like Ashwamedha Yajna and Gavalamba, right? And we also know the reason why, what is the benefit of offering the animal in the sacrifice. But now, after in the Kali Yuga, like maybe a few 100 years, 1,000 years back, what was happening? By the name of Vedic injunctions, people started offering animals in the yajna. Not for pleasing Supreme Lord Vishnu or not to please all the demigods, but to eat meat and flesh. So, using that instruction, people started offering all the various animals in the fire sacrifice. And then people started killing so many animals. So in that case, so everywhere on the name of Vedic injunctions, people started killing animals. Then Supreme Lord appeared as a Buddha, where he started mentioning that don't kill animals. Then people were questioning, this is mentioned in the Vedas, so we are trying to follow Vedic injunctions. So then Lord Buddha told, no. Then he put the philosophy that no God, no scriptures, nothing. Everything is void. Then the people were asking, how can we follow our dharma? Vedic injunctions specifying our dharma. Then what is our dharma? Then he said, Jiva Himsa. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Right? That is what the Buddha mentioned. So this way, the Buddha came. After that, we know many other Supreme Lord came, Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These people took birth and propagated again they reinstantiated the Vaishnava philosophy, right? So this is how the Vedic injunctions were misused in the Kali Yuga, and because of that they unnecessarily killing the animals. So to avoid that, the Buddha came. Now, so another thing is the main thing in order to perform the yajnas is like lack of purity in the Kali Yuga, right? So that is, as we discussed, so many strict standards we have to follow in the Kali Yuga to perform these sacrifices, but in the Kali Yuga it is not practical. So if you see, not only that, if you perform in order to perform sacrifice, we need so many things properly, purely. But not only performing yajna, if you want to perform any demigod worship, like, see, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in many of the purport, right? So if you perform Krishna Supreme Lord, all the demigods will be satisfied. You don't need separately to perform any worship to demigods. If at all you want to perform, so you pray demigod to give the bhakti, right? But what people are doing in the Kali Yuga, forget facts of doing the sacrifice properly, but in demigod worship also so much deviation is happening. If you see in our India, every year Ganesh Chauthi, the Utsav will be celebrated. Like they will put all the big pandal and they will put the Ganesh deity. But in front of Ganesh deity, what people are doing nowadays? They are putting all Bollywood songs, they have different songs, and they do all the, some cases people are doing all so many nonsense things like playing cards or doing dances, right? Is Ganesh going to accept such kind of things? There is no purity. Where is the purity? Like, so even at a demigod worship level itself, the purity is missing. Doing the big sacrifice, there is no way we can have the purity. Even not only in Navaratri Utsav, like Durga Navaratri, people does, and people do the Dandya, but again what they are doing, putting all the Bollywood songs and doing the dances. Is it a way of pleasing the Lord? So this is where the impurity is coming. This is how the impurity widely spreaded. Like if you see in our Prabhupada mentioned clearly, we have to chant 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. Like 4 regulative principles are no intoxication, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling. But in the current age, how many people are following this 4 regulative principles? So the purity, though, if you follow these 4 regulative principles, everyone follows these 4 regulative principles, the purity will be there. But in majority, complete population, more than 100 billion population, how many people are strictly following these regulative principles? Very minimal. It means the complete this material world is impure, spreaded with impurity. There is no purity. So because of these reasons, we cannot perform any such austerities and yajna. And that is the reason Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the Sankirtan Yagna is the only best way in the Kali Yuga. Only the practical and easy method for this in the Kali Yuga is Sankirtan Yagna. So when you do the chanting the holy name, all the Krishna will be pleased and all the demigods will be pleased. And there is a nice discussion between the Sukadeva Shukracharya and Supreme Lord Vishnu in the Bali Maharaj pastime. We know the Bali Maharaj pastime where Vamadeva came and the Bali Maharaj, and the Vamadeva asked Bali Maharaj to give 3 steps. And Bali Maharaj surrendered himself, and we know I am not going in detail of that pastime, but so finally Bali Maharaj went to Sutal Loka, and Supreme Lord also went there, and there when Bali Maharaj went to Sutal Loka, and Vishnu also, Supreme Lord also went there, and the Shukracharya, everyone is present there. Then he was asking Shukracharya, so what kind of mistakes, faults performed while performing the sacrifice by Bali Maharaj? Then Shukracharya told, because you are present in front of Bali Maharaj, you are the Bhoktaram Yajnatapsam, you are the supreme enjoyer of all the sacrifices, and when you are present, there is all whatever faults happen, it will not have any impact. So that is one thing. And next thing told, as long as you are, because in the presence of, when you are doing the chant yajna, the chanting of the holy name is recited. So if you reciting the holy name, whatever faults, mistakes committed as part of yajna, everything will be nullified. This is what Shukracharya, who is the Shukracharya? He is the guru of all the demons. He is saying that when you, since during when the Bali Maharaj was performing the yajna, the holy name was chanted. Because of that holy chanting the holy name, whatever mistakes committed in this as part of yajna, everything will be nullified. So that is the potency of chanting the yajna, Harinam, holy name, chanting the Harinam Sankirtan, or performing, chanting the holy name. That is the potency of chanting the holy name. So even Shukracharya was the guru of demons, also saying that chanting the holy name, impact of chanting the holy name. So in that, because of that reason, so everywhere we have to, in the Kali Yuga, easy and practical ways chanting the holy name. That's why if you see, when we are offering any bhoga, we chant the holy name. When we are doing arati, we chant the holy name. When we do fire, any ajna, we do the chanting, we chant the holy name. So when you chant the holy name, whatever imperfect things happening, it will become perfect. That is the reason in our community, like if you are celebrating birthday, we follow, we do chanting. If you doing any marriage ceremony, we follow the chanting the holy name. And if you do any person died in your family, we chant the holy name. So every moment, every time, we will perform chanting the holy name, because even though we are not qualified to perform all the ceremonies properly, by chanting the holy name, things will be purified and you will have a resultant, proper result. And there is another pastime from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling in the South India tour, he was going to Tirupati, on the way to Tirupati. So when he was chanting, when he was going on the Sankirtan Yagna, when he was walking, he was going on the tour, he was chanting everywhere holy name, and people will be following him, and whoever is following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting, they will become purified, they will join the movement, they will continue their Sankirtan Yagna. So this is used to happen. And when he is on the way to Tirupati, he met one village, he met one Buddhist Sampradaya people, and a group of people following the Buddhism. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the philosophy, he tried to convince them. Finally, he defeated them in that Buddhism, the Buddhism guru, he defeated. And then what that guru did, the next day, he wanted to take the revenge against Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then next day, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, he came with a bhoga. He wanted to offer there to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, food, prasadam. And then, but prasadam contains fruits, vegetables, but also mixed with meat, which is not known to anyone. It is mixed inside the bhoga, and then he wanted to offer that bhoga to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then, but when he was bringing a plate, suddenly a big bird came, and it touched the plate, he threw the plate down. And the plate actually, because of the bird hit the plate went up in the air, and all the foodstuff fell down, and the plate came down and hit the good guru of Buddhist Sampradaya, and he cut his head, and he was bleeding, he fell down on the ground, and he fell unconscious. And then this Buddhism, the disciples of that Buddhist guru, he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started chanting the holy name. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, okay, I will be reciting the mantra, holy name mantra to you. You take this mantra and you recite this guru. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the mantra to these disciples. So it means it's a diksha is happening. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiating the disciples of Buddhist guru, and then these disciples went to the Buddhist guru and then they recited this mantra. So generally Guru has to recite the mantra to disciples, but in this case, disciples are chanting the holy name to Guru. So after some time, when they chanted the holy name, the Buddhist Guru woke up and he came unconscious. So this is the potency of the chanting the holy name. So that is the reason Prabhupada was mentioning that in Kali Yuga we can only perform Sankirtan Yagna, no other method is suitable or useful, chanting the holy name. And there was one more in our scriptures it's mentioned, like chanting the holy name will have many benefits. Like one story from Ramayana, when Dashrath was in the Ayodhya, ruling the kingdom Ayodhya, and one day Ravana was going in the sky. In that time Ravana knows all the techniques, how to fly in the sky, right? Ravana was going in the sky, going through the Ayodhya, and they wanted to take darshan of Dashrath, King Dashrath. Then he came down and he went to the kingdom. But at that time Dashrath was not present in the Ayodhya, and he went to the forest for hunting. And then he went to forest to see King Dashrath. He was not present. He was unable to find Dashrath in the forest. And then finally he found Dashrath was sitting in the Sarayu river, and he was throwing the rice grains. Each time he is reciting mantra and throwing rice grain in the water. And then he came and asked Dashrath, Ravan came and asked Dashrath, what are you doing? I heard you supposed to be there in the forest and you for hunting the animals, but you are sitting here and just throwing the food grains in the water. What is that? Then the Dashrath Maharaj told, see, in our forest there are so many wild animals coming. The number of wild animals increasing day by day. And many animals were killed. The innocent animals were killed. I can't go, since the animal count is more, it's very difficult to kill each and every animal, find and kill. Instead of doing that, he was chanting the holy name and reciting the food each time, chanting the holy name and throwing the rice grain into the water, Sarayu river, the holy river. And then the animals were the animals were killed in the forest when he was doing this activity. Then Ravan heard this story and he was not believing. Then he went there and he saw that in the forest there were so many wild animals died in the forest. And he was seeing that some wild animal is coming in front, and suddenly an arrow coming from side and hitting the animal, and the animal died immediately. So initially Ravana was not believing when he heard this story from this activity from Dashrath. But when he saw directly in the forest, he saw that each time chanting the holy name, when Dashrath is chanting the holy name and throwing the food grain, arrow is coming and hitting some through sides or any direction, different direction, arrow is coming and killing the wild animal. So this is where our scripture says Japata Siddhi, Japata Siddhi, Japata Siddhi, Nasamshaya. Means the Siddhi of the power of Japa. Power of Japa 3 times. If any verse is saying 3 times, it means we should not have any doubt in that. So Japata Siddhi, Japata Siddhi, Japata Siddhi, Nasamshaya. So you should never have any doubt on the potency of holy name. That is what our scriptures mentioning. And there is one more verse from Vaman Puran. This was I heard a lecture from His Grace Lal Govind Prabhu. He was mentioning this verse from Vaman Puran. The verse is Nanama Sadrusam Jnanam, Nanama Sadrusham Vratam, Nanama Sadrusham Dhyana, Nanama Sadrusham Phalam, Nanama Sadrusham Tyaga, Nanama Sadrusham Shama, Nanama Sadrusham Punya, Nanama Sadrusham Gati. So this is what is Nanama Sadrusham Jnana. There is no need to get any jnana if you know that chanting the holy name is only shelter. You don't need to acquire any jnana if you are chanting the holy name. That is the ultimate jnana. If you understand that chanting the holy name is ultimate shelter, there is no other jnana required. So that's why Nanama Sadrusham Jnana. The next, Nanama Sadrusham Vratam. You don't need to do any other austerities like it's mentioned in the yajnas or any dana, any other activities, austerities, anything. You don't need to do anything. Nanama Sadrusham. If you chant the holy name, you don't need to do any vrata. Nanama Sadrusham Dhyana. You don't need to do any meditation. if you do chant the holy name. Nanama sadrusham phalam. You don't need to wait for any other benedictions or any results if you chant the holy name. Nanama sadrusham tyaga. You don't need to do any, renounce anything if you chant the holy name. Nanama sadrusham shama. Means controlling the senses. If you chant the holy name sincerely, properly, attentively, you don't need to control any senses. And nanama sadrusham punya. You don't need to perform any punya if you chant the holy name. Nanama sadrusham gati. You don't need to look for any other destination. Right? When you chant the holy name sincerely, attentively, what will happen at the end of the life? You go back to Godhead. You go to Goloka. When you Vaikunta, what will happen? Na tad bhashate suryo nasashankam napavaka yadgatvana nivartante taddama parama mama. You will not come back to material world. The Vaikunta, you go to Goloka where it's everything blissful, happy, no miseries, and you will not come back to God. Right? That is the ultimate destination. You go to any holiday spot. I think that now the summer is coming, holidays are coming. People will plan for many holidays, but what will happen after 1 week, 2 weeks? You have to come back. But this gati, when you chant the holy name, what would be your gati, ultimate destination? You will go back to Goloka, you will never come back. All our holiday plans, everything is temporary. You spend some time, how much ever money you have, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month, and you have to come back to your original place. But this gati, which we will get through chanting the holy name, is ultimate gati. So, this is what Vaman Puran is mentioning, the benefits of chanting the holy name. And there is one more quotation from Chanakya Pandit. Prabhupada often referred this quote, right? So, the quotation is like, if you want to, you can sacrifice a person to protect your caste. And if you want to protect your village, you can sacrifice your your caste. First thing, if you want to protect your caste, your kula, right? You can sacrifice a person. If you have to sacrifice a person to protect your kula, that is okay. But next thing, Chanakya Pandit says, if you want to protect your village, you can sacrifice your caste, your kula. And the next one is saying, if you want to protect your country, you can sacrifice your village. If it is required to sacrifice your village to protect the country, that is okay. That is what Chanakya Pandit. And the next thing, if you want to protect your country, you can sacrifice the village. And the next one, if you want to protect your whole world, you can sacrifice your country. And the last and the important thing, he said, to please your Atma, you can sacrifice whole world. So how you can please Atma? By chanting the holy name. Right? When you chant the holy name, you can sacrifice anything, complete world you can ignore, but you can chant the holy name. If this whole country is opposing you to chant the holy name, you can ignore the world, you can renounce the world, but you continue the chanting. And Lal Govind Prabhu was telling that in his own style. You are ready, you are supposed to sacrifice whole world to perform chanting the holy name, but you are not able to stop checking your WhatsApp message even for 1 hour while chanting. That's how the Lal Govind Prabhu was giving in his style. And you are not able to stop watching TV 1 hour while chanting. That is where this quotation is highlighting the importance of chanting the holy name. So, we need to understand the importance of chanting the holy name. Chant the holy name attentively, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, attend morning programs. So, with this, we don't need to perform any other activities. That is the ultimate shelter. So, we need to, and when you do chanting the holy name means, okay, Prabhupada recommended minimum 16 rounds. But we need to keep increasing the rounds and perform other devotional services, and that way you will be progressing in your devotion and you will get the ultimate gati, the destination, go back to Godhead. So, I will conclude here. Any comments, any question? Yes, ma'am. Yes, any animal sacrificed in the fire sacrifice of yajna, that is the ultimate end. If the yajna is performed properly, it will get human form. And human form is the fastest way, right, to get out of this material birth and death. Yeah, but it has to stay. See, if the cow, yeah, this is the faster. Yeah, yeah. If the yajna is success properly done, then that is the ultimate. Yes. No, but yeah, no, but that was mentioned actually. I was listening this Gokuleshwar Prabhu lecture. He was mentioning that the priest can see everything when you are performing the sacrifice. If the soul is leaving the animal, getting the new soul, new body, the priest can see that through the yajna. The priest who is performing yajna, he can see that. That's what it does. So now in the current age, there is no such purity. So we are not. But the Brahman can see that activity. So leaving the horse when he is offered in the sacrifice, and then getting another human body in the getting into the womb. Yeah, it getting entering into the womb of a mother. Yeah, as a human being, that he can see that priest. That is what mentioned. Yes, Prabhu. In what circumstances? See, actually, if you see in the subsequent verses, it is mentioned. Actually, in this verse, it is mentioned demigods were not appearing. I don't want to touch the subsequent verses. It is mentioned in subsequent verses when he was not able to get any demigods, then the priest saying that, okay, you pray Supreme Lord Vishnu for some particular desire, then he will appear. So, it all depends on your yajna, the motive of your yajna. I think that's my understanding. Yes. See, Prabhu, I heard this again from the Gokuleshwar Prabhu's lecture. He was mentioned clearly that any animal offered in the, particularly in the Harshvamedha, he clearly mentioned that if you sacrifice a horse, it will get a next body as a human being. So that is the fastest way. This is what. So, yeah, I don't know other references where it is mentioned, but yeah. Yeah, the animal get his original same body, but these people will suffer their reactions. See, Prabhu, in this verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned, right? Ashvamedam, Gavalambam, Sannyasam, those 5 things. It is forbidden. And because the reason it is forbidden, we don't have proper facilities to perform very proper way, with purity, right? So that is forbidden. If you are performing without, yeah, they are doing it, then obviously, I don't know who performed, what is the reason, but in general, as per this Chaitanya Charitamrita verse, it's forbidden. If you do, definitely you will have a negative reaction. And even in our movement also, we do yajna, right? See, but in our yajnas, it is like we follow 2 vidhi, Pancharatra vidhi and Bhagavat vidhi, 2 vidhis. As per the Pancharatra vidhi, when you perform deity, you have to perform deity worship, you need to get initiated and you need to do the yajna. That is compulsory. And the next one is marriage ceremony. In these occasions, as per the Pancharatra vidhi, we perform yajna, but at the same time, we chant the holy name. So even though if there is any mistakes committed, by chanting the holy name, those mistakes will be subsidized. So we follow both Pancharatra vidhi, Bhagavat vidhi to subside any mistakes have committed in the yajna. But in other places, if simply doing the yajna without proper purified items or in brahmanas, then it will not be fruitful, they will get reaction. So that reaction could be any reversal. We don't know how it works, karma, but definitely there would be some negative reversals. See the okay. So the first see the when Brahmanas chanting the holy name, there are mantras there, right? They have to recite the mantras in a proper tune, proper pronunciation, everything required. Not everything is the holy name, but the mantras will have different things, right? So when you are reciting the mantra without proper tune or without proper pronunciation, you will not get the result. So if by chance, by mistake, if one mantra, if they did not pronounce properly or anything, knowingly or unknowingly, they will not get the result, right? The Brahmanas may be pure, they will, like you take the example of this king Anga. He is a saintly king. Brahmanas are very pure. Still demigods were not coming, right? So, if you see the past time, it is mentioned in the subsequent verses, because of his past sinful reactions, they were not coming. So, there are multiple factors. If the God is, the Supreme Lord is not appearing, it could be any multiple, either in this birth, you are not pronouncing the mantra properly, or there could be past karma, anything must be impacting. So by chanting the holy name along with yajna, that will nullify. That is the one. And your first question, what was the first question? I missed it. Yeah, yeah, because see the yes, mantras constraint, but okay, it's as per the yajna mantra, like not all mantras are holy names, right? They will have different mantras, some for different purpose. You have to perform any activity in yajna, they will recite mantra. Need not be all mantras are like connecting to holy name. There would be different things will be there in the mantra. So when you are not reciting that mantra properly, you will have a negative effect. But to compensate that, yes, you chant the holy name. Yes, yeah, mantras, some mantras will have the holy name, that will subsidize the effect of it. But yeah, we need to see what is, if that question can be clarified unless you go through the mantras and understand what it contains. That is the only way we can, yeah. But finally to come out of all those things, chant the holy name, that will subsidize whatever mistakes you come. Yeah, demigods are not coming. Yeah. So yeah, see the Vedas will contain so many mantras, anything prescribed methods. Not all the mantras will connect to holy name, right? So that is the important thing we need to understand. So there may be some mantras which connecting to the holy name, but when as per the scriptures, karma kandi, jnana kandi, there are many things there. There is no bhakti, there is no holy name thing mentioned. When you come to the bhakti part of the Vedas, then you will get this holy name. But on all the karma kanda level, other things, you will have these different prescribed methods to perform yajna. That will not have any holy name. That's the how we can understand. Yeah. Okay. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrunda ki jai. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.